Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Long, Kagwa Erabe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lord Luke Savel, Kagwa Erabe. Milakaski ola lilu constant tasolo, Works Minister. Iga triple question on behalf of people block Kagwa Erabe. Question number 1. Men of calling the contractor, but one contractor you give this la road bigolo. Kagwa Kikoriawe. How much money you give finish? Road work stop, work stop. All operator, contractor will out. Come stop work. Take him longer time. Before 50 years, you may talk cut him ribbon. I'm number 1. Number 2. Road bigolo. Quarter to Predictor. Road bakamaplo. Last week lo pagya. La road. How much money you give finish? Talking people block, how can I have again? Sabe. People block, how can I have all tenors and people corporate one them all. Contractor, not ministers. Talking people block, how can I have yourself. Number 3. Yumi committee finish. Talk over counseling bakamap. One time by Yumi, working over counseling. Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Minister of Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, through you. May I like to platform to thank you, Lord. Member of Kagwa Rave, everyone plus strong member. I will make a plenty work for Kagwa Rave. All plenty roads up. All triple question play you. Some of the play speed Greek. All name law all road now all contractor me no kisim good. So all the triple asking play you by me. Check him all department below me. Kisim good through all report. Blood is all contractors now also by me plus around talk na. By me update him good through all report blood is blah. All triple all ask him you give him. So by me make him this plan tomorrow. By me answer him you all this blah. Questions blood triple question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You may plan to member is up. Bible talk me one of system to Salem. Me give him opportunity long. Deputy Speaker will ask him long.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, thank you too much lo you give him time lo me lo. Planet time bami come sit down lo siya bami no ask him questions so. Good plan lo you give him time lo me lo ask him one question lo me. Mr. Speaker, question lo me go lo Minister of State Enterprise. Mr. Speaker, ask him lo me me ask him tasolo power service ko lo people lo me lo makam. Mi pla makam, mi pla ground lo mi pla karim. Okay, the pylon lo karim power go down lo. Lay city. Mi pla looking long pla tower. One time wire two run antap. Tasolo light kisi mi pla mnogat. Mi pla stop to take Power go come up lo leina, come back lo mi pla lo makam. Em sawe power sa on lo 1 pla 2 pla day. Nem se go off lo 2 pla moon. Nem ba come back again lo 1 na 2 pla 3 pla day. Suppose em come on long 1 week. Em mino se member must have 3 or 4 pla moon before power come back again. Osana minister me ask him you tasol. Why na power work lo oki mosem lo mibla lo. Makam na mibla no kisim good power. Suppose you online ni briefing you liglig na you sawe lo en you talk sawe lo mina. People lo makam. Suppose no God. Enough. Me ask him you now lo flow lo parliament. Enough you find out lo. Yenti power no talk sawe why power no reliable to mas lo. Our people lo makam. Ose mi talk pinis ground lo mi pla karim power pylon na mi plan no kisim good power. So I'm legally ask him lo mita solia. Me ask him minister lo. Talk clear lo me now people lo me why power
reliable to mas lo mipla. Mi talk long and true pla talk. Tupla day, na ba you wait tupla moon. Lo power ba come back. Tripla day, ba you must wait tripla moon. Na power come back again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister of State Enterprise.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to thank you, Lord Deputy Speaker, for this important question. Yes, you got a problem long lay, especially antap lo younger go around lo lay online Indian contractors only work lo upgrading more transmission lines. Long tari kam antap iko osem lo yonki or TVA company only upgrading more tribal power pylons na they already completed that job. Currently, we are continuing to encounter difficulties with the Indian contractors, which are funded under the Japanese JICA program. Nuclear CEO Yumi threatening terminating the contract because of the performance of the Indian contractor. This project is delayed by more than 2 years. Yumi got problem long supervision long PNG Power, which we are taking under control. With the employment of the new CEO from New Zealand, we are seeing some improvements now, especially for Ley na Olen Blimis Tarab and the Law. Makam Valley, this province, Lamori province, very, very important province. We have allocated so much resources and time and money towards fixing these problems that we identify finish. But, through some power on and off 2 days and beyond 2 months, no God, we've been able to still provide power. And good luck to talk about MNO Steret. Me, because I have been giving a personal watch on it myself because of the importance of our city of Ley. So, Emmy.
Point of order, point of order, Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, me like talk sa lo minister mino gamani miulo tupla day na. Mi man mi sexy power long ene mi talk lo ene. So mi talk amas plamun em sa stop na. They say come back in few days ya. Mi talk true ya. Osem so mi like afemim talk lo mi. Because minister talk osem mi no talk true so mi afemim talk lo mi osem. Em true plus statement mi make. Em power ya mi et mi film long en mi talk. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going by the briefing that me is our team land because, as I said earlier, me yet personally, because of the numerous complaints to us are raising land, me too, me got feeling that me man too. So I don't go to sleep. I make sure that these things are done. So I am responding to the question based on the briefing that I have been getting from PNG Power. So somewhere along the line, someone is misleading us, but we can talk of some. If the people of Ley can get powers on and off, only a wait law, 2 months or 3 months, these same power lines come from Yonki all the way down to Ley. So it does not make any sense. So I'm also let me back into talk then. Me not talk of some daily speaker and Yaman. I'm just making this response based on the briefings I get and because of my daily involvement in matters to do with the city of Ley. But I will take this complaint into account, and by me go check him now. I'll ask the PNG Power CEO to explain why this is so, and then I'll also ask the PNG Power CEO to meet the Deputy Speaker himself and explain, and we will work out what is really wrong with it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Wabek.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I think my question, without notice, goes to our good Prime Minister. Before I do, let me give some context to my question. In a statement released last Friday, Mr. Speaker, the Commissioner General of the Internal Revenue Commission revealed a very disturbing trend. Multinational corporations operating in Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea's resource sector, Mr. Speaker, particularly in the mining and petroleum sector, are exploiting loopholes and weaknesses in our tax and investment laws to maximize profits while contributing little or nothing to the national coffers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Ramu Nicol, for instance, has extracted rare minerals from our land for almost 20 years without paying a single kina in corporate income tax, thanks to the overlapping tax concessions we as a government have given them. PNG LNG project participants, after already enjoying a 10-year capital recovery period, are now extending this tax holiday by another 5 years, raising serious questions about the effectiveness of our fiscal regimes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, further, the IRC has disclosed in an earlier media release that 5 of the most profitable large-scale mines have not paid a single dividend to shareholders in over a decade, suggesting that creative accounting and profit-sharing tactics are being used to suppress taxable profits. Mr. Speaker, if I'm correct, only recently has Porgera begun paying dividends, and that too only after dividend withholding tax was exempted in the new Porgera agreement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this comes at a time when our extractive resources, which are finite and non-renewable, are being depleted with little long-term national return, Mr. Speaker. Yet individuals closely tied to the original LNG agreements now widely criticized for being overly generous to investors, are once again being appointed to head major negotiations on behalf of the state. This, Mr. Speaker, are traitors. Traitors are being appointed again to these positions, Mr. Speaker, including chairing the negotiating team, the state negotiating team, and the National Oil and Gas Company board members. Mr. Speaker, to add insult to injury, last week the Prime Minister or the Queen awarded a medal to a key figure behind the failed Nautilus deep sea mining project, a venture that cost the state almost 300 million and delivered nothing with no proper agreements or due diligence in place, got recognized by the Queen and being recommended by us here in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, in no other country in the world do they honor thieves and traitors. Only in the Christian nation of Papua New Guinea do we honor those people, those kind of people. Mr. Speaker, when the Prime Minister assumed office in 2019, he made bold commitments to reclaim resource sovereignty, to reform resource laws by 2025, and to shift from profit-based taxation to production-sharing agreements. That was the basis of all of us joining him to form the new government there and then. We are now in 2025, yet the reforms have not materialized, and the same group of characters are being recycled in charge of our resources. Questions, Mr. Speaker. My questions to the good Prime Minister: where is the long-promised resource law reform? Can the Prime Minister inform this House and the people of Papua New Guinea why the resource ownership reforms and the shift to production sharing agreements promised for 2025 will be delivered? Number one. Number two, who is really benefiting from our resources, Mr. Speaker? Can the Prime Minister confirm whether the current fiscal regime still allows multinational resource companies to avoid paying taxes through extended capital cost deductions, tax holidays, and creative accounting? Number three, why are the same people back in charge, Mr. Speaker? These people are traitors. Mr. Speaker, these people are the people who side with giant corporations and who sell our resources and our future. Why are they back in charge, Mr. Speaker? The Prime Minister should tell the people of PNG. Number four, what process was followed in appointing the S&T chair? Can the Prime Minister tell this House whether the position of the chair of the state negotiating team was advertised, what selection criteria was used, and how much public money is being paid for this work? Number five, where is the due diligence? What background checks or due diligence does the Prime Minister's office undertake before appointing individuals to high-stake roles where the interests of the state must be defended against multinational corporations? Number six, as the Prime Minister shifted sides, how does the Prime Minister reconcile his 2019 stance on resource nationalism with recent appointments and apparent continuation of investor-friendly tax regimes that deprive PNG of much-needed resources? Mr. Speaker, with that a particular mention of the PNG LNG project. You know, before me, Vladimir was by this year or next year we will be getting the full proceeds from PNG LNG project. Now we hear that there's another 5-year delay. Now, you know, they're stealing from our future. We have people dying on the streets. We have lack of employment. We hear the GDP doubled, or the tax revenue doubled by 100%, and yet there are no jobs. Mr. Speaker, what lessons were learned from Nautilus? Why was the medal awarded to an individual associated with a failed Nautilus Minerals project which cost the country 300 million kina without any return? What message does this send to the citizens or future investors? Do we honor traitors? Number 8, with the same characters involved, are the same team sheets being recycled? Are we looking at the same term sheets? Number 9, what fiscal repair mechanisms are in place? What concrete fiscal and legal measures is the government taking to plug tax avoidance and ensure that resource companies actually contribute to the national economy? Number 10, Mr. Speaker, when will resource exploitation end without returns? Now you may Aramusem Ramu Nicol too. I'm like making nuclear extensions, so I'm needing another, tax concession, tax exemption for another 5 years. Please, you mean no longer. This is our country. We need to be patriotic, and we need to tell these people to start paying. They're extracting resources, and those resources will never be renewed, Mr. Speaker. One time, thank you now. Copy of all questions that we can give him the Prime Minister supposedly. Thank you.
Honourable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me like passing through. Talk thank you, Lord. Member Wabek, raising this series of very important questions that underpins the economic security of our country. Mr. Speaker, me like also before me talk thank you, Lord, both sides of the House na you yet. Lord, you may give him time, long New Zealand Prime Minister, Lord, coming to our people's house. New Zealand has been an important partner to our country. It's good you may give him recognition of all awesome houseman, na house Mary, na house speaking in limit. This is our people's house. It's important when a high chief from Nabla country come. You may pay him kind respect. But the country will look at but looks out, so you may respect him all. And we all in the business of constructing the next 50 years going forward. Mr. Speaker, I may like also talk Sawe. Lord House also United Nations Secretary General will be with us for 4 days in September. September 3 and come. So we'll ask him this house again by me Larem Emerson. First time ever United Nations Secretary General come. He will be our guest to our house again along September 4. So in the face of 58. Only come early because only in the stubborn team of September 16. The Secretary General, based on our invitation, wished he could stay with us on 16th of September. Unfortunately, it's close up to the UN session, so he would come early and be with us unprecedentedly for himself 4 days in our country. So I just want to inform our members of Parliament and appreciate the hospitality this morning. Mr. Speaker, question belong Member Wabek and me. Very good, pertinent question belong Yumi Olkeda. Pass them through me like give him belly seal. I think he's number 8 question or number 7 question, and we talk whether me shift him away from my mantra in 2019. Me like give belly seal Ogra line that goalpost has not been shifted. This talk about 2019 was sentencing law and it's not yet. James Marape as a person, I stand on this, and as my party, we stand on this. Before me come up, member, me first contest Lotari Pori, Law 2002. Talk of me and me talk, me stand up lo fight long oil, gold, and gas resource. That Papa Grand must kiss him good, provincial governments must kiss him good, country must kiss him good, investor too must kiss him good. And I want to give assurance to you, Mr. Speaker, and to the member for Wabek, to all our members of Parliament, and to our citizens, our country, and our investors, that conversation and public policy in my DNA still remains firm. 2025 is the deadline we set for resource law shift. Our 2 petroleum and mining minister, as well as our resource sector ministers, are working in a manner in which we do not offend our investors fair return on investment, as well as our people getting their fair stake. It must be equitable benefit sharing. And I want to also inform this House, I think in the interest of time, we like to summarize this question, if you can give me in writing, but me go through a reply, but in summary, all projects where you now harvesting or operation in our country was secured under project development agreements, before. Something that our country is also known for as an investment destination is that we don't break contracts, we don't change the goalposts in between. We don't change the goalposts in between. When the leases expire, then we enter into strong, fair, hard negotiation, as we did in Pogra. When SML1 that was signed in 1989 expired in 2019, then we entered into hard negotiation. We entered into hard negotiation, we failed the lease, or they applied for lease renewal. If my memory is not wrong, and I'm speaking from memory, July 29, 2017, they filed SML renewal application based on the same term sheets, 5% long province and Papua ground, 95% of all in as far as equity is concerned. Royalty, of course, it's governed, I beg your pardon, tax is governed by law, so they asked us for a 30% tax, and royalty, again, at 2%. The three main entitlements, really, for all resource project extraction is royalty, equity, and taxes. Mila give him comfort and to our investors. This government, like the past governments before me, we will not be breaking any agreements that is running its course. But once the agreement closes, then the country is entitled to negotiate for a better or give the projects to a new investor who can give us better. Program project is a reflection on this government's commitment to getting back more, take back more for our country. Program today, Mr. Speaker, the state negotiating team, and I want to ask all of us that the state negotiating team, one of his questions on the selection of the state negotiating team. We scan who's available in our country and who can fight for the best work based on government. Remember, they operate based on government directions. If government, give more clear policy directions, they go out to war or negotiation rather, based on the principal policy directions of government. My government since 2019, our policy direction has been always win above 55% for our country. Always win above 55% for our country. So far, in the work of changing the law that is taking its time, as we have to consult the industry and all stakeholders, and 2025, our 50th year, as we enter, will be the time in which we make these changes before our 51st. The investor community knows that we are in the business of securing above 55%. That has been clear to all of them, and I make it no secret. You win some, I win some. Unfortunately, we cannot change what's happening in Lihir. The 1997 agreement that is running its course. Unfortunately, we cannot change Ramonikol, 1997 agreement that is running its course. But I want our leaders also not to be too critical of past leaders. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, or even PNG LNG when it started, we were still not yet a pronounced investment destination. I want our country also to know the same investment dollar can be shifted elsewhere. Right in our region, Indonesia is an oil and gold and gas and mineral producing nation. In our region, Australia is a gas and mineral producing country, as well as others around us. In the global pool of sourcing for foreign direct investment, those areas that we are competing with, as well as elsewhere on planet Earth. And we want to give them a healthy, competitive regime, but at the same time without compromising our return on investment. I want to say, up to today, the investment community clearly understands what we're doing. I want to tell all of you that S&T that we are criticizing in 2019 was with me in a room. Treasurer was in that room. Governor Enga was in that room. When I told Mr. Bristow, Barrick, you sit on 49, I sit on 51% side of equity. Deal or no deal, and I walked out of the room. If it is you at 49 and I'm at 51, we will negotiate this. If it is not, I'm sorry, no negotiation. I walked out of the negotiating room with my entire S&T. S&T takes cue from government policy in as far as government policy is concerned. Under this SNT, we've told them, get 55% total take, and I want to clarify, 55% doesn't just to equity. Equity is one stream, royalty is one stream, tax is one stream. We've asked the entire envelope harvested. At minimum, we must get at 55%. This government, right now in the absence and yet to deliver a production sharing regime that has our own characteristics, not a production sharing regime with, that is a Middle East production sharing regime or elsewhere. We want to have a production sharing regime that has PNG characteristics, that give respect to indigenous people who own land, give respect to provincial government where the resources are, and give respect to the rest of the country through the national government for national equalization benefit distribution. I want to give assurance to our country. We have not abandoned the goalposts we have set. At some of these areas where it's operating in silence, they're all governed by the existing fiscal regimes and project agreements that are running. When they expire, Lear will expire in 2035 rather. I hope whoever is Prime Minister in 2035 will not have the sleepless night I'm having today, the mining minister, because by then we would have changed the law, and the law then governs the way we are securing our projects, and as far as our project envelope is concerned. But to IRC, IRC is fully entitled. And work with IRC. The taxman is fully entitled to check all the agreements we have. And if there is any loopholes there in those agreements, and if there is any way where we are supposed to collect but we're not collecting, it is not out of line when IRC probes and asks questions. As our country's taxmen, they're fully entitled to check all the governing laws we have today. Ramunico to operate in the same manner, as I said earlier. I won't be too critical of past leaders who were there. 1997, global financial crisis. Lest we forget. And the Prime Minister then secured these two projects. Whilst we may not collect enough in as far as tax is concerned, to my satisfaction, I cannot complain. There's some employment being generated, landlords getting some money. I'm looking forward to the time these projects time have lapsed. But I also want to say that at government policy insistence, these projects are showing some signs of working with the agreement, but optimizing return to us through employment or through other aspects like our downstream processing policy that we've imparted upon. And Ramunico, for instance, is now working with government to look into a downstream processing of nickel in our country to value add for us. So in summary, Mr. Speaker, default project here, you make it seem below, like PNG LNG, 48%. Rambun, lead all display at 30% below Canada. Now, people walk along kissing about 55%. PNG LNG, there was a question raised on PNG LNG. The last 3 years alone will pay 11 billion kina corporate tax. Now, display year only talk one blah agreement, starting sell of PNG LNG agreement, and talk long extended depreciation. All using this blah long, talk them give him all investors some blah banis long takis. Now, I see got right long check him whether I'm all talk through Gaman. Miss, I work my RC law, okay. Me plan to stop in my RC. You got right to check him, you check him. What this agreement entails. But again, PNG LNG too, we also speak with context. The agreement was signed in 2009 at the backdrop of 2008 global financial crisis. ExxonMobil came into our country. This one project right now, the aggregate contribution to our country in terms of revenue, cash revenue, not the employment and the spin-offs, but a cash that come back to equity, to taxes, to royalty, and all the associated income to our country has gone past 30 billion kina since then. We thank Somali government for making sure this project got off the ground. It is now a business to pick up other projects. I want to say, give assurance to the member, any project my team is negotiating is about 55%. PASCA that we signed off is at 70%, a small condensate project in Gulf. PNG that we signed off is at 63%. 4.4 TCF gas that will be synchronized, and we will give back 10% to the Western provincial people when we go and engage with them in as far as the negotiation of PNG was concerned. And so any project that we are negotiating in the absence of legislative changes, we are pushing hard to negotiate above 55%. These Papua New Guineans who are working post-trade instruments. If they step out of line, as we are checking on what's happening in Kumul Petroleum, we will deal with them and stock up the boards with new credible Papuans again. And we are working this. If there are any ways for improvement, I look forward to be assisted. But I want to give full assurance to the country, the goalpost of 2019, the take-back PNG goalpost has not been shifted. When the laws come in by the Petroleum Minister and the Mining Minister, we want all of your support. There will be a clarified, simplified, all entitlements of the country, whether tax, equity, or royalty, platted inside, in total picture, giving us a win about 55% of any resource project we harvest in our country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, extended time, question time now, kami abros yung finish time long. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I ask leave of Parliament to move a motion without notice.
Is leave granted? Leave granted. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that some of the standing orders be suspended as would prevent order of the day number 97, Government Business, called on forthwith.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clark.
Order of the day number 97, Minister for Justice and Attorney General.
Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Standing Order 22B, I now commence the first required opportunity for debate.
Make your speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The members of this Honourable House, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce the organic law on integrity of political parties and candidates, amendment law. The bill to amend the organic law on the integrity of political parties and candidates, which is the Principal Act, a principal law. Mr. Speaker, this proposed amendment will increase the retirement age and the compulsory retirement age for the register of political parties from 55 years and 60 years respectively to 72 retirement age and 75 years compulsory retirement age. This is consistent with the policy decision by the government to standardize the retirement age and the compulsory retirement age of constitutional office holders to 72 years retirement age and the 75 compulsory retirement age. This is consistent with the retirement age of other constitutional office holders such as chief ombudsman, judges, and ICAC commissioners. Mr. Speaker, similar to other proposed amendments, I now will be introducing to standardize the retirement age and the compulsory retirement age of constitutional office holders. This is an effort to address the depleting experience, skills, and the huge institutional knowledge gap that is found in most of our institutions today. Senior officials who still have adequate years to contribute to strengthening our institutions and contributing to service delivery are not able to do so due to them reaching the retirement age. Further, the proposed amendment to increase the retirement age allows continuity and the transfer of knowledge and skills to the younger generation of leaders. Mr. Speaker, with that, I commend the Organic Law on Integrity of Political Parties Amendment Law to this Honourable House.
The question is that the question be now put. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The question is that the proposed law be now read a second time. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk.
Second reading. A law to alter the organic law on the integrity of political parties and candidates and for related purposes.
Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I ask a leave of this Parliament to move the proposed law without amendments forthwith.
Is leave granted? Leave granted. Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the proposed law without amendments to be agreed to.
The question is that the proposed law without amendment be agreed to. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, as this is the first vote, the Constitution requires that the vote must be recorded and that in order for the proposed law to pass, it must also be supported by a 2/3 absolute majority of 79 members. Honourable members, the Parliament will now vote. Clerk, please ring the bells. Tenant, close the doors. The question is that the proposed law without amendments be now agreed to. Those in favour, please stand. Would those against please stand? Honourable members, in accordance with Standing Order 222E, the results of the vote, 80, the ayes 80, and the noes 0. Honourable members, in accordance with Standing Order 222E, I now order the third reading, which is the second required opportunity for debate and the second vote, be adjourned for at least 2 months, this day as required by the Constitution. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until tomorrow at 10 a.m.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, Parliament is now adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.